did in Tenerife and the Canary Islands in the off-season.
Yeah, it's quite technical, isn't it, what they were talking about? He was talking about the fact they have smoothed it out. It's a little shorter, but they want the contact. Shorter take back? Shorter take back on the swing.
Yep.
It drops into the pocket a little bit quicker down low. But the one thing he wants is a slightly higher contact point for Mensik. Out in front, obviously a little bit higher, but also in the middle of the racket. I mean, I listened to his interview, and we're going to get underway here, but he felt that Mensik hit the ball at the top end of his racket rather than the middle. And he feels as though when Jakub gets it in the middle, he gets 40% more spin rate on the ball. And that is something that they're going to be looking at throughout the course of 26.
Well, just one of the big talking points. And we'll slow things down here and get into the match. But forehand to forehand, that is a battle that Mensik fights in ground stroke rallies every day. He's going to lead us off. Molayani is front and center. We're glad you're with us.
Confident second serve there from Mensik.
Oh, we've already brought up the change in climate, how much hotter it is here, and what that does. If you've listened to us before, you'll know it speeds play up. The ball just travels through the air that much quicker in the hotter conditions. So his serve, Mensik's serve, could be even more lethal today, which is a scary thought.
Interestingly, in the warm-up, he's already changed rackets. I wonder whether he went to a slightly tighter one already, feeling as though the ball was flying on him because of the heat in the air. So from that point of view, it'll be interesting to find out.
Yeah, if you're not a tennis player, you may not know this, but the way it works is the looser the tennis strings, the more of a trampoline effect, the more power you get. The ball really throws off of the racket. The tighter you ask the stringer to make your rackets, the more control you have, the more it feels like you're hitting a brick. And in conditions like this, control is paramount.
That was a very, very confident looking hole to serve. Todd Woodbridge is courtside. Todd, how are you doing down there? You want us to come and bring you a little sort of mobile AC unit?
An ice towel?
Some fans would be good. I'm not the one sitting in the stands who are fanning.
What do you mean? You're a superstar here. You've got many fans.
I tell you what, it is very sticky here. It is. It's almost uncomfortably humid in the stadium. So it's going to be a bit of a battle of the fitness in terms of attrition for these players here today. They will be sweating up a storm. That would be nice right now, just to be in front of that, I can tell you. But I'm looking forward to this because I don't know if everybody did get to watch your pre-show. I thought it was brilliant, Petch, when you were talking about what to watch here. And you were talking about the hitting and strike zones for Mensik on the forehand. And one of the other stats that was thrown in there is that when he played against Alex de Minaur the other day, when Alex went with the slice into the forehand, he missed it 30% of the time. So you would hope and think that Zizou Bergs has done that homework.
15 love.
It may take both of these players a little bit of time to find their range with their ground strokes, because not overstating it, the ball will be traveling probably a half meter further than it would have a couple of days ago with the same swing, because the conditions are so different. That's how much impact that the heat will have on how far the ball travels. It's not uncommon for players to up their racket tension at least 1 kilo in this scenario, if not 2. You know, you're talking in pounds, you're talking like somewhere between 2 to 5 pounds just to try and feel normal out there. And we're heading towards the first one of those this season. AO, the first major of the year, rapidly approaching. That might have been the racket that Todd started with back in the day here in Sydney. Nice little wood frame, Teddy.
Game team Bencher.
You know, believe it or not, I didn't ever play with a wooden racket.
I don't believe you.
Even with a surname like mine.
No.
And
One game.
I was, as we say here in Australia, I was an aluminium type of guy.
Aluminium, yes.
Yeah, aluminum, because what you could do, you could get upset, you could bang it on the court, it would bend, and then you turned it over and you'd bang it back into shape.
That does suit your personality.
The Slazenger Panther I played with.
These guys all grew up playing with the modern string, which has been such a revelation and transformation in the sport, given more control to these really light, powerful rackets. And so far, these guys have not been able to control the ground stroke. So far, the ball is zipping all over the place.
15 all.
And that's if they get into a rally. Todd, I did play with wood for a couple of years. Then I switched to an aluminium racket. Remember the redhead racket?
The redhead.
Little head racket.
Is
It was
that
appropriate
because
for
of
me,
your,
right? Pretty appropriate.
Your looks.
Yeah, something like that. Little head aluminum racket with a little red plastic piece in the throat of it. You'd remember it.
I do recall that, yes.
Oh, that was very nice from Zizou Bergs. A shot maker indeed, and he comes up with one. And there's a little bit of tension in this service game all of a sudden.
This could be a lightning fast start for Bergs. Super impressive last couple of points.
You like where he was standing for that passing shot, Petch?
On top of the net?
Covering cross court?
Correct.
Why is that important?
Because Mensik loves to go cross court more than anybody else at the United Cup.
On that forehand side. Yep.
And we went down the line there and he caressed it. He did not crunch it and it was sitting there begging to be hit. But it is Bergs that hits first and Mensik trails by the break. Well, I've been out and about today in Sydney. Went over to Taronga Zoo and had a little walk, but there is so much more to do in this part of the world. This is where the hot air balloons are very popular. As the sun comes up, they go up. The Pittwater is a magical place to spend the day. Out on the river, you can kayak, camel riding, out in Port Stephens. And of course, one of the best times of the day is early morning or late evening as the sun is setting. For One Nation tonight, the sun will set on their challenge at this year's United Cup. About 30 minutes from the CBD here in Sydney. Out west, there's a good crowd that's already made the journey out here to see the opening match tonight with Mensik and Bergs. Mensik, of course, up and running against Casper Ruud with a great first win, then went down comfortably at the hands of Alex de Minaur, 6-4, 6-1. It was Bergs who was more impressive in bouncing back after his loss to Zhang Zhuzhen from China by beating Ojai Aliassime, who had impressed so much in his opening match of 2026. Bergs winning that 4-2. Perfect place to hit the ball through the middle of the court. Mensik is not going to hurt you from there, and he doesn't have the flexibility in that forehand to pull it all over the court. Jim, in many ways, I thought the bounce back from the Zhang Zhuzhen loss was even more impressive, given how Bergs finished the season in 25. Obviously, played for Belgium in the Davis Cup, did a great job getting through to the semis.
Yeah, no, and indeed, and lost a heartbreaker there. So, really nice bounce back. He was so impressive against Auger-Aliassime. He was in the zone for much of that match. He was out hitting the Canadian off the ground, and he just conceded very few mistakes. And what was wild, really wild, Auger-Aliassime throttles his forehand. He crushes his forehand when he can. And for the match, Bergs' average backhand speed was faster than the Canadians. That's rarely seen.
Yeah,
it was amazing. There's a lot to like about Zizou Bergs. He's got swagger. He's certainly confident. I like his service motion. I think he gets a nice little arch in his back, good shoulder turn, and he gets easy power. That was 214 kilometers an hour. That's solid there.
Game team Belgium.
Yeah, just circling back to that Davis Cup match against Flavio Cobolli. He had 7 match points to give Belgium a chance to go to the doubles. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done, but again, it was a stunning performance.
I tell you what, when he goes and plays for his country, you put a flag on his back, it becomes like a cape and a superhero. He plays probably match in, match out, well above what he would play weekly. And so much so, you saw the passion during the anthems here. He was giving it the best rendition that he possibly could. He was right into it. It was fantastic to see. He was leading them. I could hear him from the court side here.
Todd, your son's a fantastic singer, working in the theater in London right now, so you've got a good ear for music. And obviously, Bo takes after your wife musically, but how was his pitch? Did he have like a good voice?
Yeah,
Zizou?
look, you know, entertainment is about performance, and you can bluff your way through, and he had it all. It was great, and the pitch was good. I'll go with him.
Jeez, I'll tell you what, you can't play any better than this.
This is a slap in the face to Jakub Mensik at the moment. He's not in control of a lot of what's happening once they're in the rally. He's just a pawn. Love 40 here to go up a double break.
That's smart from the 20-year-old. Serve and volley, trying to break up the rhythm from the back of the court.
I mean, it's been difficult for players to win points when Mensik has made his serve. And I'm talking about players like Novak Djokovic and Taylor Fritz when they were playing him in Miami. It's powerful, it's accurate today. He's only winning half the points when he makes the first serves. Bergs is all over him.
30-40.
Spoke with his coach Christoph Fliegen, Roland Garros last year's with Jan de Witt now, and Jan here. There is Jan. Jan got him out on the court after the Zhang loss, and they have been putting in the hard yards.
Props to Jan for wearing a black jacket in 37-degree weather.
Well, Bergs' tennis is as hot the weather in Sydney right now. It is 4-1 double break. He is cruising.
He must be melting that ice at a rapid clip. The guy is just on fire out here. Unbelievable.
Isn't it interesting, the two ends of the court, though, in terms of body language? You can see the way that he's reacting, talking to Jan there. And down the other end, gee, the shoulders were slumped and walking very despondently. And, you know, I guess you do that by the scoreline, but there doesn't seem a lot of fire in Mensik just at the moment. And I believe earlier in the week he was a little under the weather with a cold. And this sort of weather, if you're still battling a bit of that, it's not going to help you.
It's happening unbelievably quickly. 15 minutes of play.
Mensik's coach is in his ear trying to give him a pep talk here, but it is Bergs who has been absolutely flawless out of the gates here. 4 out of the first 5 games. Mensik doesn't have a lot of answers to the problems that occur, and it's a lack of time on the ball, Jim, as well, that Mensik has.
Yeah, he's being bullied once they're in the rally. It's Bergs who is just throttling forehands and backhands. He is outpacing Mensik big time off the ground so far, and he's just not given up enough unforced errors. Just one. Zizou Bergs, I felt like, was in the zone when he played Auger Aliassime a few days ago. He's still there. We'll see how long he can inhabit that magical space that players dream of being in for as long as possible. Normally, from my recollection, it was about 5 days a season, and you just hoped it wasn't on a practice day when it came. He's getting it at the right time.
Well, we've been sort of eulogizing at how great Mensik's first serve is. I think Bergs has taken that personally. Bergs has been pretty unique, and I tell you what, very impressively authentic. He has always worn his heart on his sleeve. He's always spoken openly about everything. Oh, he's got it.
At 30-15.
Last year after Wimbledon, talked about how he was losing matches because he wasn't able to control his emotions and thoughts, but he has always applied himself in that area. Has always spent about 10 weeks a year traveling with a sports psychologist to overcome what he feels were some deficiencies in the way that he saw things in the middle of matches. And relatively uniquely in 2023, when he popped a tendon in a doubles match at a challenger, ended up coming back and playing for a while just with a one-handed slice backhand, a little bit like Mute, a little bit like Del Potro had to after his wrist surgery. Added an extra tool to the toolbox by doing so.
And sometimes the biggest challenge for a player is admitting and then hiring somebody to take on those faults. And so that's a big thing that he's been able to work through and do. So you've got to tip your hat to that. Some players avoid it at all cost. Some even hire new coaches just to tell them yes.
Jan de Wit would certainly say yes to this level of tennis, because this has got to be what they've been dreaming of. This guy is just crushing the ball out of the middle of the strings off the forehand and the backhand, and Mensik in these rallies is largely a passenger.
Views.
And at some stage, his level's going to drop, whether it's in this match or, in one of the coming matches, because he's playing such a high level of aggression that the math says that the errors have to come in at some point. Mensik just needs to be there ready to capitalize if it happens in this match. It didn't happen against Auger-Aliassime.
Advantage, Team Belgium.
That's a tough miss, Todd, for Mensik there. He was in that one.
Well, sitting courtside, I'm up his end at the moment, and he's not finding much of the center of the racket. A lot of the balls seem to be mishit, and the weight of shot between these two is significant. Be interested to see what our data says about that. Particularly off Mensik's backhand. Normally that's a very big solid shot, but he's kind of, whether it be the pace that's coming at him, he's mishitting it a lot.
Team Belgium.
Well, he's turning it into a heavyweight against a middleweight, Jim.
Todd, here are your numbers. Take a look at these.
Fantastic. Ask and you shall receive. I love that service.
Look at the outrageous difference. The forehand of Mensik is 118. The backhand of Bergs is outpacing that by 7 kilometers, let alone the forehand up 11 on that. That is a huge gap. You just almost never see a match on tour all year long, and we're lucky enough to get to see a lot of them, where a player's backhand is bigger than another player's forehand. And this is 2 matches in a row that Bergs is doing that.
Okay, what do we make of that serve?
15-all.
Panic? What do you think?
Throw something else in or different, change up the speed, give him some rubbish. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's thinking about, or maybe he's hurting a little here. That was just a change up.
30-15.
And it's only 23 minutes into the match. Fatigue certainly can be a factor in this one, but it shouldn't be yet. I would hope not anyway.
No, and he was in Tenerife. I was actually chatting to his coach just before the match. They got some temperatures in Tenerife up in the 30s in terms of
in
weather.
December?
In December down there. They were surprised. Oh, yeah.
Manetti.
That is just majestic.
30-all.
That's it. This is like Stan Wawrinka type at his apex, one-handed backhand line. This two-handed backhand is a bomb. And we're looking forward to Stan Wawrinka being here in Sydney. The Swiss have qualified. Stan said this is his last season. As that one finds the outside of the line, Stan will find himself playing here on Saturday in the semifinals.
He's the French Open 2015 form.
Yeah.
That was peak.
That backhand down the line. Holy mackerel.
What a return. What depth.
Deuce.
What I like about it as well, not only is the depth of return, but the discipline on this ball. When you're playing this well, there's a temptation just to keep absolutely lasering it.
By the way, check out this first serve position from Mensik. I've never seen him here before. Never seen him stand out there. That's Medvedev's the only player, a right-handed player that I've seen do that. And he is going huge on second serves. He is semi-conceded this set and is just in his toolbox looking around for something that might work that's different.
This is Medvedev from 2018 in the final here against Alex de Minaur.
Right.
On this very court.
Net for service.
Saw Ugo Humbert, the lefty, do that from the left side of the court, the ad court as well, looking for that same slide angle. But it's rare. And this has got to be a rare feeling for Mensik to be getting hammered this badly by a player ranked below him. But that's the fact. And Bergs is going to serve for the opening set at the end of this break.
This is...
I started to focus on the serve and all percentage and all. No, that's why I was also pushing you. You do what you do. You go for your game. The last 2-3 points on yourself, not better again. Look for your zones. It's fucking not about the score. Forget the score. You just score 1 point. At this point, it allows you to score. And he's looking for anything. Let him look for anything. Feelings are the same. They get killed, so they are trying something different. You focus on what you want to do. Look for your options. Whenever it shows, you're ready to step forward. You're ready to make points. You're ready to play. Let him think based on the song. Let him go shoot up his side. He's out of his comfort. Keep him there. His ball comes, you're ready to react.
Well, they'll be trying to stay in the zone that he's in at the moment. Pace has just become so prevalent on tour off the ground, hasn't it, Jim? Looking at the numbers that you've been talking about here, he's pretty much sitting in the top 10 category. When you go back to look at Turin, one of the things that stood out in Turin for me was forehands. There were 10 players there. Only one of them didn't average 80 miles an hour for the whole season. That was Alex de Minaur.
Yep. Yeah, the game has definitely continued to get quicker and quicker in spite of a lot of the players commenting, I think rightfully, there's no reason for them to lie, that the balls are a little bit heavier, a little bit slower. They're having to work harder to get that speed, but work harder they are. Bergs with a little bit of a chat to the chair. Not sure what that was about, but Moleani's on his walkie-talkie. Bergs is going to serve for a quick kill in the opening set. Just 28 minutes of play to get to 5-2 with new balls, no less.
And just to
15 love.
Highlight just how good this backhand has been from Bergs right now. He's hardly missed it, and it would be the fastest backhand out of anyone that played at Turin on average. Sinner was
out of the tour finals, the top 8 players in the world last year. Man,
equal fastest with Yannick, and then faster than everybody else.
A 30 love.
it's one thing to hit the ball hard. Lots of players can hit the ball really hard. There's a whole nother thing to control it at the level that he is. So look at the quality of backhand that Mensik produces. He has got a great two-handed backhand, and he just hasn't been able to get in position to use it that much today. Not yet.
(40-15).
This will be hanging in the Hall of Fame in the Bergs household, I think, this set of tennis. I doubt very much he's played a better one, and that is an extremely fitting way to finish it with a winner. That was simply outstanding. 6-2. He's making light work in
Jay Aliassime, the world number 5, who lost 6-4, 6-2 to Bergs a couple of days ago.
Yeah, correct. That was where I was going. Isn't tennis a fascinating sport when we have these matchups that within the groups, you know, we've seen Alex de Minaur get done by Casper Ruud comfortably, but then, you know, it all turns around and Alex comes out and can beat Mensik, and Mensik beats Casper. I mean, all of these things just by style that you bring and your swing paths and your mentality, and I mean, that's the beauty of our sport as we get set for set number 2.
15 love.
Had to say goodbye to the opening set quickly. Can he find an escape hatch and get himself involved early on in the second?
Left for service.
I mean, the zone, right? It's that dreamlike state for players where everything is just happening naturally. Your mind is just out of the way, and it's all automated, all natural.
Left for service.
Books have been written about it. Sports psychologists make lots of people happy, trying to help them get there. Well, Bergs is there, and you know how I know? Not just by watching him play and looking at the numbers, also by the fact that he didn't even realize what end he was supposed to be starting this set from. He went out from his team zone to the wrong side of the court, and Mensik's like, hey, am I on the wrong side?
Well spotted.
Ball. Right, 13-15.
I guess he was just assuming he was already up a break because he thought he was serving too. All kidding aside, this game clearly is vital for Mensik just to settle in.
Ball. At 14-15.
Yeah, Mensik actually wants Bergs to miss. That would actually be better for him than him actually hitting him off the court, just to start chiseling away at some of that confidence.
Ball.
Beautifully worked.
Team Czechia.
Builds himself a little bridgehead at the start of this second set.
First game, second set.
Got down and lived with that shot, didn't Mensik?
Exactly. Let's go. Here we go. Come on, Alex.
This guy's serve has been impressive. It's not that his first serve percentage has been amazing. It hasn't been, but he's been bombing them in and winning a high percentage of points when he does make them. What do you like about this service motion? I like this shoulder turn and how deep his shoulder is on that left of the screen. That's beautiful.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about maybe it was a little bit to the right in his opening match against Zhang, but I mean, you can't argue with that.
Look at that elbow dropping in there, and it's just, that is a lot of racket speed coming through the zone.
I love the tempo as well.
Yeah.
It's so nice and slow before the leg drive and the arm speed comes.
But you were so right in that opening match. If they can make that adjustment, the same adjustment that Team Sinner made after the U.S. Open final loss, where they changed his ball toss, put it a little further back, closer back to the line. It was too far forward and a little more over his head to the left of the server. And his service percentage went up about 6 or 7 percentage points. Sinner hits more up on his serve now than he did at the U.S. Open. Oh, that's sweet two-hander. And
I've got to say, he has come out, and I'm really pleased to see for Jakub Mensik, is that he is throwing a little slice in. He's changed the paces. He's actually thinking his way around, trying to give a different look almost on every ball at the moment to Bergs. Can't do anything with that though.
13-15.
Brilliant bit of defense. 20-year-old digs in.
30 all.
As you two know, when I'm actually in the comm box, I do the scoring and put it all down. I don't have that with me courtside, but put an asterisk on that one, will you? Because I think that's a bit of a turning point in this match right there. The way that he went out to that forehand, fell backwards, lost a bit of pace. The mind starts to think a little here.
oh, that's a big let off. That was an opportunity to really put a little pressure on Team Belgium. No break points yet for the Czechs. And he had a look at that forehand, hammered it just wide. So he avoids the stress test, does Bergs, and they're level at 1.
1 game.
Captain Jiří Novak. Barbora Krejcikova in the on-deck circle, waiting to get out and play Elise Mertens for the first time. 2 first-time matchups in the singles here tonight.
That's what you want to see from Mensik, the fact that he feels like he has to take it early down the line with his forehand. That's not where he wants to go. 60% of his forehands go cross court, but you could see there already he was feeling as though he was going to come second best in the trade cross court.
15 all.
I don't know if the cross-court pass was the wrong shot, but it was the wrong pace. He tried to hit it too hard. If he was going to go across, he had to kind of take pace off and dip it. Bergs did an unbelievable job of making an instant decision of back up. He
30.
wanted to come in on his forehand down the line, but the counter from Mensik would have won him the point had the Belgian come in. There, look at him.
How in the world did he get to that backhand, too? The backhand from Mensik was on the line and was moving away from him. That was an incredible dig. And he's might be digging his way towards another break, a serve here. 15-30 for Mensik.
30 all.
Pulls out the eraser, though.
When it's time to break the glass, always nice to have a couple of those to arrive.
Game team Czechia.
Spins the scoreboard around in that game in his favor in the end. Mensik 2-1.
Team Czechia is 2 games to 1.
Výborně se podržel, dobře, dobře.
Well, this man's not flying high at the moment, but you can if you come to this part of the world. In fact, while I was wandering on my walk on the harbour shore today, you could see a couple of these seaplanes up in the sky. You get spectacular views of all parts of Sydney, not just the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House, but you can get yourself out to the northern beaches, down the Hawkesbury River from the air. And you can even go and land down in Pittwater or Rose Bay as well. Grab a bite to eat at Jonah's restaurant. I don't quite have the budget for that, but I know Todd and Jim have.
Well, you've got good friends that take you out for dinner, usually.
Can you use air miles? I can tell my kids that I have been at a nightclub. There's the DJ to prove it. Couple of kids out on the court, well, one in particular, Mensik, who's in the first kind of, I want to say, quarter of his career these days, Jim. You know, we used to sort of say this would be the first third because everyone was pulling the ripcord in the early 30s.
Yeah, he's 20 years old, but there's no 21-year-old who's ranked higher than him either. So he is, if we're playing juniors and you're playing sort of a 21 and unders, he's the world number one. Well, obviously, you have Sinner, who is young. You have Alcaraz, who is young. So there's some others in his range that are better at the moment. But he's certainly one on the rise. And he'll see if he can rise up after a difficult opening set here and make a contest to this one.
Love 15.
All the times in tennis you talk about sort of being proactive, take time away from your opponent, but it's a real skill to enable them to miss, bide your time, wait for the drop off.
Todd, how are those volleys looking?
Well, firstly, the way he transitioned, as soon as he made the decision to move, the first step coming in was fantastic. We'll get a look at it here in a moment. And volley-wise, yes, is good. See how he really gets that ball to stay down and through the court with that backhand volley. Took the racket out nicely, followed through like that. And look at the footwork, and immediately just covers the line. That was as good as it gets right there. If he does miss a backhand volley occasionally, it's when he actually makes contact and he stops the racket. You got to take it through to the target like he did there.
13-15.
But this week, I mean, I've seen him play quite a number of times now, but this week his all-court game is going to another level. And what we haven't seen yet, but we saw in his previous matches, some very good soft hands off half volleys and ability to dig difficult things out.
14-15. They're 14-13.
He continues to defend his serve well, even though he's just making 54% first serves in play for the match. The normal top 100 player in men's tennis makes 63%, just to give you a frame of reference. So this is low, lots of second serve chances.
Game Team Belgium.
Another comfortable hold, and it's given Todd a chance to jump into a team zone. Who you got, Todd?
I've got Kimmer Copperjans with me. Kimmer, lovely to chat. Thanks for talking. Tell us about this week, what it's been like for you. Obviously, you've been doing a lot of work getting ready for Melbourne yourself, but this man, your team member, has gone up a level since his opening match.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he's been playing very well all week. His preparation's been great. I think in his first match, I think Zhang really played, a bit, lights out at some point in the third set. I think it was also a little bit because Zizou made him play very well, and I think since then, he really stepped up another notch. And so far, Felix and Jakub haven't had really a chance to really get into the match. So he's been very impressive.
As a teammate, tell us about his personality, what he brings to when he plays for his country, like United Cup, Davis Cup. He had success on this court.
Yeah, he definitely loves this environment, playing for Belgium. He's very proud to be Belgian and to be representing his country. I think also in the big stadiums, that's where he really thrives, and I think you can see that as well. And I think it's also his enjoyment is much bigger, I think, in the team environment, and that's why he's played so well.
Yeah, I've seen him entertaining both when he was singing the anthem here and also in the diary room where you guys are doing a bit of twerking, right?
Yeah, he's really improved his twerking game lately. And, he was showing some pointers to the people on how to twerk. He's got a very how do you say it? A very outgoing personality, and he's really relaxed and likes to just have fun and with the brakes off.
Well, after all of that, I'm going to pass it back to you, Jim and Pet.
How's your twerking game, Jim?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Best we avoid that, like I do salads. 3-2, Mensik.
Team Czechia is 3 games to 2.
This is what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate thing for Zizou is it's there forever.
Yeah. Now, I do know what twerking is. I was hoping that that was some sort of an ab workout that he was getting into there. But in any case, you're right. That is now seared into our collective tennis brains. But the level of tennis he's brought to the court is overriding that at the moment. But well played to Jakub Mensik for hold and serve, staying in here, putting a little bit of tension in the second set.
Yandavit giving a little bit of information. Coach Gilles Simon, Gael Monfils, Pazalashvili. Well, Mensik has done a nice job of just putting a little bit of a stake in the ground here as we take a look at a big match fact for Zizou Bergs defeating Felix Auger-Aliassime at the United Cup. It was his second win against a top 5 opponent after beating Jack at the US Open.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big asterisk.
Yeah,
because Draper withdrew in that match.
Yes.
So really, that was his first, as far as I think he would be concerned.
Yes.
And it was impressive. There was no asterisk around that one. Auger-Aliassime had played very well in his first match and was confident coming in, and he just got blitzed by the Belgian.
Different perspective on this match now as we're almost halfway through this second set. Easy to play when you got the jet stream behind you.
15 love.
But he is yet to hit any turbulence, that's for sure.
I think for everybody at home, just to that forehand hit then, the balance that he's brought to the court today when he's striking is just about perfect. When he actually goes off on his forehand, Bergs, he flails a little bit, he falls backwards, the swing gets a bit big, but gee, he's got it compact and the movement is extraordinarily good.
Thirty, 15.
This is that forehand I was talking about at the previous point. Just see how early he set racket back and see how he stays down through it till the ball's off the racket, and then there's the immediate first step looking to come forward because he knows he's got his opponent in trouble. And then goes with it again. Gee, it looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
14,
Museum
15.
quality right now. Oh my goodness me, that is from another planet.
Just another dreamy point from Zizou Bergs. This is an outrageous half volley.
I set this up for you a little earlier. That's what he's been doing all week.
That is off the charts in degree of difficulty, and he just handled it like it was nothing. And he has held again. Jeez. What athleticism we are seeing. This is incredible. Mensik with an amazing stretch volley. Bergs beats him on the next one.
I mean, the shot making here from Bergs that eventually left the layup was extraordinary.
Well, 15 second serve. This is where things can get a little sticky for Mensik.
Second service.
He was feeling the heat too, going bigger up the middle with that second serve, just trying to get a cheap point, because the shorter the points have gone, well, that's really been the only chance for the big man. Bergs has been just so dominant in the baseline exchanges that get to the 5th shot in the rally, winning 16 out of those and just losing 5. And they're dead even in the quick fire exchanges. Mensik's serve doing a lot of the lifting for him. It's that balance power off both wings from the Belgian making the big difference.
Second service.
Because it's not that Mensik is a bad mover, quite the contrary, especially for his size. The guy covers the court extremely well, but his forehand just isn't quite up to the caliber of what Bergs is delivering today.
15-30.
That's a double fault earned by the quality from Bergs. Well, it was a brilliant return. It was ambitious from Mensik to try and take that backhand fast line. And he could be in a whole world of pain here if he doesn't keep Bergs at bay on this break point. And once again, you've got to give Bergs the credit for extracting the double fault because of the quality that he has shown. Mensik crumbles and Team Belgium go a set and a breakup.
But just watching closely in that game there, fellas, it's really interesting when you take a look at the body of Jakub Mensik up close. He's only 20 years of age and he still looks like he's really developing in terms of what his strength is going to be, and he's got very, very long arms, and when he misses, he gets caught with elbows in tight, whether it be on the backhand and on the forehand, and it's almost as if he has to do a lot of work on footwork to make sure he's got enough room. If you remember that backhand in that game there when it was low and short, he hunches over the ball and he kind of smothers everything. And I think, you know, from the opportunity of being this close, you can see an area of the game that really needs to be focused on by his team. And look, he'll grow, he'll get stronger, but physically that looks like a little bit of an area that is a problem for him just at the moment.
Joseph has been with him many, many years now. They know each other exceptionally well. For a while, he had 3 different coaches kind of helping him out. He's had good information all the way through, a lot of trust between the two of them. Whereas Bergs broke him in the opening set, he kind of broke himself there, Mensik.
Yeah, and Jakub has struggled. He's lost the last 13 times he's dropped the opening set at tour level. Hasn't won since back in Shanghai. That would have been in October in 2024 against Rublev. So coming from behind, not a strength for the big fella as of late. And he's running out of runway here to land the plane. Bergs needs 2 more holds of serve to get it done.
15 love.
See Bergs just showing with his hand, just I'm on a roll. I'm gonna keep rolling here. pedal to the metal. 1 hour and 3 minutes of sublime tennis from Zizou.
It's one of those errant ball tosses. He's actually brought that ball toss. You talked about it, Jim, in the opening match. He's brought it about 5 centimeters left on this ad side. He's been pretty similar on the juice.
Second service.
But he has brought it a little left on the ad, and he has served superbly well. You can see when it does drift where the problem comes.
That misses, so it's 15-all. Just staying on the ball toss for a minute, because the top 2 players in men's tennis have been working on their ball toss. Sinner did it last year after the U.S. Open. He pulled that ball toss back from the up far right, back over his left shoulder on the first serve, and made a lot more first serves. And then there was some footage online this December of Alcaraz working on his ball toss. If you are going to change something about your serve, the easiest thing to change is where the ball toss sits. That's the easiest thing, much easier than changing your racket move. And Mensik trying to change something on the scoreboard here at 15-30. The long rally goes the way of the man in the yellow cap. And just last thought on the ball toss. These players all are capable of changing their ball tosses. And you know why we know this? Because the second serve ball toss is almost always significantly different than the first. Minor change, just more of a mental than really anything else if you want to do it on your first serve. That ball toss basically over his head. This second serve toss should be further to the left.
And 40-30.
Scary good. Bergs would have felt as though he was going to get a look at something there. But Mensik has dropped that in a teacup.
Well, you might watch this and say and think, oh, gee, that was lucky. It actually wasn't. He meant it. It was great racket skills, just kind of deadening the ball to just get it to drop. And that was a touch of class from Mensik right there.
It's a bad backhand after a great return.
Well, we've watched him the last couple of days play off that forehand and deteriorate. And you know, one of the key things that you can see from so close is he hits the ball in a different strike zone every time. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late. He just doesn't feel it at all. And as the match goes on and he loses confidence, it gets even more so. That one was so far out in front of him.
Use.
This is the challenging time for Bergs, isn't it? This is where he actually started to get a little tired against Zhang in his opening match.
Todd, you would normally be tracking the score and be able to tell me this for sure, but I think this is the first time that Mensik's been at deuce.
It feels that way.
And he's going to get his first look at a break point on the heels of that double fault, and then the forehand touching the tape.
Advantage, Team Czechia.
So this is when we showed the good forehand a couple of games ago. This is when the forehand starts to go off a little. He pulls out of it and comes upwards. It gives the errors a big point here.
Too good. But you do get to see a little bit of the fallibility in that forehand from Mensik on that last shot. You can just see him have to pull up here. Well, the first break point, but the second time that Bergs has been taking a deuce in this match only. Just hasn't been able to sustain any real pressure. But can he carve out another opportunity?
Oh man, that one we nearly saw his racket get folded in two after missing that regulation backhand, his favored shot on the baseline. Mensik is beside himself. Should have had another breakpoint chance. We've talked an awful lot about the forehand of Mensik, and I will say this. The guy's 20 years old. He's been working on it in the offseason. He's going to keep improving it. He's already top 20. That's how good he is with a side that everyone knows is what you target. He's going to get better. He is going to continue to be a menace in men's tennis.
Advantage, Team Belgium. Team Belgium.
Yeah, this time the racket goes, as does the game, and probably his hopes too.
Team Belgium.
He threatened to chuck it on two different occasions in that game, and finally just had to let it go. So a new.
I don't think it was a breaking throw, that one. It was. I call this one gentle. Yeah, it was a helicopter type event.
To be fair, you're probably the best observer of that.
Yeah, that frame that can go back in the rotation.
That was stylish, at least.
Left for service.
It's quite an art.
A lot of RPMs on it.
That'd be a new stat for us.
How does he have resolve in this game, Mensik, or does he just let this one go? Went pretty big on that second serve, 183, which you can interpret in a couple of different ways. I'd probably interpret that as a frustrated second serve as much as anything. Does he dig in here? Be wise too. He just had a break point. but he wants quick points here. The emotions have the best of him at the moment.
And he needs to disentangle himself from those for the next game. He can probably rely on his serve enough to get through this one.
A 40 love. Wait, this. Game team
Bagel hold, but he's going to have to figure out a way to break Bergs for the first time in the match to stay alive.
Team Belgium leads 5 games to 4.
Pojď, poslední příležitost teďka, dáš do toho všechno. Jednu jedinou věc, když se ti tam zase bude sápat na tu síť, což je tam pravidelně v každém gemu. Když bude hodně blízko, budeš mít hodně míč, tak klidně zvaž i ten lob. No, tam určitě ta poslední situace, vím, že už tam bylo hodně konečně náročné, ale klidně může být i průměrný lob, ano? Nemusí být jenom prohod. No, zase jde tam do toho srdce, výborný na tom returnu. No, snaží se ho tam dostat do té výměny. No, když tam zopakuješ ten předcházející game na tom returnu, tak určitě ještě pevně věřím, že tam nějakou šanci mít bude. Jo, new balls. No, načasuj dobře split, ball in play. Absolvuj mezi hru, ano?
Well, sometimes the flare goes up and you get to see where someone is, and that certainly is tonight with Zizou Bergs, and against Felix Auger-Aliassime you suddenly see the Belgian really coming into his own and playing some superlative tennis. And the superlatives have not been exhausted yet for Bergs as he continues to dominate. And Barbora Krejcikova getting herself ready for what may well be a must-win match for Czechia if Bergs can take the next service game. She'll have one eye on that screen up there, top left. Nice to see her back. She's had a lot of problems in recent times with the back, and then, as you can see, with the knee. Mensik has had his hands full right from the start here as Bergs has led from gun to tape. Can he cross the finishing line?
Good start for Mensik coming out of the change of ends. Had a nice talking to by his team and plays a great opening point. And I think it's also worth noting that as this set has edged on, Bergs is now out of the zone. He's missed some forehands. The backhand speed has come down. So there are more opportunities now that Mensik is enjoying in these rallies. And the first serve keeps missing. Mensik is going to have some chances here. Can't do that, though. That was a great second serve. To be fair, that was bold, Todd.
Yeah, it was, and that's what I mentioned a little earlier about he's got such long arms. Going into him is actually really good. He needs to extend the elbow, but he often gets caught in tight like this here. See there? But I'm interested to see whether we track the speed of Bergs' ground strokes here in this rally, in this game rather, to what he was earlier. I think that'll be fascinating because you've set it out there, and you can see that they're a little more steery than what they were.
15,
and that was interesting too, because that serve was big, but it was steering also, so he didn't get the racket head to go up the back of the ball. He lost that kind of little bit of the wrist snap in it, and so doesn't get that dip and kick into the court.
0 for 3 on first serves this game is Bergs.
Talk about moving the pieces around the chessboard efficiently. What a great off-kick serve that was. Almost 20k slower than his average first serve in this match to pull Mensik out of court. Knew the return was going to come back cross court, was waiting to pounce with his forehand.
And that's a much higher make percentage on a kick serve than a big flat one too. Very smart. What does he do with his second serve? Is he going big again?
It's late, but it's not too late.
This is what happens when Bergs plays at normal pace instead of the hyper quick groundies that he was playing while he was in the zone for a set and a half. This has given Mensik just a fraction more time to operate, and that's what he needed. Can he get himself to 5-all? Break point for the second time in the match.
Terrific serve. Probably wouldn't have changed the outcome, but Mensik went very early into his forehand side. Kind of had to hold the middle there as long as he could.
Advantage, Team Czechia.
It's amazing the power of the mind, which is now fully engaged for Bergs and is aware that he's trying to have another big win, having beaten Auger-Aliassime earlier in this competition. And he's struggling here to finish the job, fighting himself as much as Mensik.
Team Czechia.
Well, it's a fortunate dagger, but a dagger it is.
At 5 games all.
And despite all the flawless play from Bergs, he just fails at the finishing line for now.
Well, this is going to be a great test for him because this is deja vu from his first match against China.
Love 15.
This is a great mental test early in the season for a player who finished his season with so much disappointment in Bergs. Had 7 match points against Flavio Cobolli in the Davis Cup at the tail end of the season, and that was the match he wasn't able to win, and he would finish his season and probably have to think about it for quite some time. So the value of this match just increased dramatically because of that type of scar tissue, which would still be probably pretty near in his cortex.
Absolutely love that point from Bergs. Decided that his natural habitat was going to be a good meter further back and just soaked up the pressure and just extended the rally. Was waiting for the error, was not going to get after it unless it was obvious.
Talk about what the doctor ordered if he can get the break back here. That would be like aloe for a sunburn.
Well, if he doesn't come away with a break, he's going to live with that for a while.
Oh, dear me. Won't he want? I mean, this is... It was pure reflex. What a great reach from Mensik to throw it back at him quickly. But this is where your head starts spinning. It was on the strings, just had to get it over the net, and it was the break.
Nice anticipation to cover the cross-court forehand from Mensik from Bergs. That's another double fault on a break point, and it hands Bergs a second opportunity to put Team Belgium up 1-0 tonight. Joseph hoping that his conversation, as it was in the last changeover, works the magic it did and allowed Mensik to break for the first time. Can he make it 2 in a row? Got a bit of help from Bergs in the last returning game because the Belgian missed as many first serves as he did.
So Bergs will serve for it for the second time. Hoping to make more first serves, hoping to normalize after a pretty tense 15 to 20 minutes here trying to finish this match out. Todd, you were asking about the drop in speed. Well, our friends at Bolt 6 have shown what the evidence is, and it's pretty dramatic how much more conservative Bergs has got as he's tried to finish this off.
Yeah, and that's something that, you know, if he wants to keep going up in the rankings, get to 30, 20, he's going to have to be aware of that and fix it.
That is a massive drop off, and that's what's opened the door for Mensik to get involved in some service games.
But very quickly, just on the first serve and the first point, we're always taught that, you know, even if you are serving for it, it's a 50-50 if you go for an ace, potentially, right? You might make it, you might not. It's a free point. But on that first point, he took a bit off, he hit his spot, and he got the free error. That was better thinking. That was actually what I'd call playing tennis, not just the ball.
And he's working on that shot, but he's obviously thinking about a lot of this stage of the season, having come off the pre-season, trying to remodel it. And it may be a season where it's a transitory stay in the world's top 20 until he figures it out.
30-all.
2 first serves made in the deuce court, 2 points won. 2 first serves missed in the ad court, 2 points lost. Pretty crystal clear how important that is.
A 30-40.
Smart play here. If I had a joystick, I'd say hit a, not quite a kick, but a conservative serve out wide, make it, and use the open court. I mean, if you can do that, even better. 219, but he's been 0 for 2 in this game, going big like that. So the math suggested that was, maybe he was due. Let's put it that way. But using the width of the court, considering that he's been so dominant in the long rallies today, that's what my coaching head suggests, in my mind anyway. Well, comes good with a couple serves and finally gets to match point on the second time serving for the contest.
Advantage, Team Belgium. Use.
Last 20 minutes have revealed the 20-year-old's character. Plenty of backbone in this performance. And his idol was the master of turning around impossible situations into possible. Djokovic, who's won 4 majors, where at some stage in that major he's had to rally from 2 sets to love down. And rally he does. That's what it means.
And as we have the shot there on the Borut Jikova in the gym, the reaction from Bergs there, he screamed at his team, not angrily at them, but with a huge amount of tension. And we might see, well, not quite, but it was, this is going to be tough for him to win this set now.
And the psychology is definitely not in his favor right now. There's a couple things going against him beyond the obvious. The obvious is that he served for it twice and was playing brilliantly and was unable to perform the way he had to get there. And then the minutia is that the first time he was broken, it was on a net cord winner off of a forehand from Mensik. No chance. That last break point, Mensik's return ticked the tape on the way over the net. That gets in a player's head like Bergs and will rattle you. Big time, even more so. That was a huge point for him just to stop the momentum moving the other direction.
1-0.
Yeah, massive point, but just you've got to keep an eye on where Bergs is actually. He's letting the ball come to him, and he's about 1 metre behind the baseline most of the time, maybe 2. He's not looking to get up on the ball as well as he was for 3/4 of this match.
First service. A 2-1 team Belgium. A 2-0.
Serves only to your forehand, he does it big.
A 3-2 team Czechia.
Jan de Wit's out with some glue and some tape trying to hold his man together. You could see the pressure just cracking him at the moment.
I think the words were something like, how does he get out of this?
Definitely playing the situation, not just the player at the moment.
This would be good if we can hear a little bit of coaching here, perhaps.
That's it. Big balls. Very big.
Well, not much has been said, and I'm somewhat surprised because I think at this stage it really needs to be very clear and structured in his own mind about what he wants to play in the point.
He was pretty clear when he was talking to him before the last point about how Mensik is targeting with his second serve Bergs' forehand every time, and that the instruction was pretty clear. Make sure you're looking for that. He's going big at your forehand with the second serve. But that was a shame we didn't get much there, because normally the DJ overrides the instructions. We can't hear it at the change of ends.
My goodness. I'm not sure how much of the white paint that got, but it got enough, and that's all that matters.
4-3.
But talk about living on the edge. He is lucky that ball hung on to the edge. When he received the signal that Mensik was targeting the forehand, he was sitting waiting to return.
5-4, Team Belgium.
Well, he's served for it twice within this set. Now he gets to serve for it in the tiebreaker. It is riding on his racket. 5-4 Bergs. Chance to put Belgium up in this quarterfinal.
He's done well here.
6-4, Team Belgium.
Lisa Mertens will be looking to step onto court with Team Belgium 1-0 up. If Bergs can take one of the next 2 points.
Game, set and match, Team Belgium.
Doesn't just overcome Mensik,
7-6.
but overcomes some of the self-doubt that he had in the last 15 minutes or so. And Bergs victorious after a wonderful victory in his previous match against Zizou Bergs. He backs it up magnificently.
For about 1 hour, Zizou Bergs was arguably the best player on the planet. Certainly playing at a level that was unsustainable. That was clear. He was in the zone, and he came out of it in the middle of the second set. Mensik did his best to make it a contest. But Bergs survives, and yeah, he's relaxed now. That must feel awfully good. Boy, this has been a great start to the year for him, and a great start to the quarterfinals for Team Belgium. The coach wants no part of him because he's soaking wet. The coach played his part, helping him decipher where the serve was going in that tiebreaker, Petch. That was big.
It was big. It was, he pinched that point. It was magnificent, particularly when your head's in the washing machine at that particular moment and you're not thinking as clearly, thinking that everything's possible was crucial. As he wanders his way over to Todd.
I would say tighter than it. Oh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a performance that was. And I can't tell you exactly what you were going to say. I heard you, but it was a tight finish.